Hello again. I decided to make a video on the do's of don'ts of responding to your child's report card. We got my kids' report cards this week, and I was just thinking about the different experiences that I've had with the different report cards that I've given out as a teacher in the past, and the ways that are positive that parents responded, and the things that are negative and that we should probably avoid. So, if you see a grade that you disagree with on a report card, what you should not do is assume that we, the teachers, did it wrong. No joke. I had a parent once come to me and say, well, my child should have gotten an A in reading. And I was very kind, I thought, as I explained, no, they are not an A reader, and I ended up inviting them actually to the classroom to hear the reading groups and to kind of show them why their child was only a B, not a bad reader, just a B reader, instead of what we're looking for to get an A at that particular grade level. The idea is that it's never good to assume that the teacher did the grades wrong. Even if you think they might have, don't go there. Ask for clarification. Try to find out, well, how did you do this grading? How does this grading work? I feel that this grade should have been higher. Can you please explain to me why you gave the grade you did? And maybe even find out what they're looking for. Maybe your child's reading is great, but their comprehension is poor. And so if they have just a 1 overall score for reading, you might see a score that's lower than you were expecting because they didn't understand what they were reading, even if they read it really well. Okay? Second, you have a problem. You disagree with something, or you want to talk to the teacher about it. Don't go and talk to them at the door. I cannot count how many times that a parent, well-meaning parent with good intentions, maybe even on my side, agrees but wants to work on it, are trying to have the conversation as the kids are coming in. The problem is, my job is to go and teach those kids, to tell them what they're doing next, to set them up on their day and all their activities, and if I stop to talk to you about it there, I'm taking away from all the other kids. Plus, grades, scores, achievement, all of those things are not good public setting things. It is not good for your child to hear you talking about it. It is not good for the other children to hear you talking about it. The front door is not a place to ask about grades. Period. But please talk to your teachers about it. If you want to know more about the grade, I have never met a teacher who has a problem with parents contacting them through email, or email is probably the best way. Maybe a note. Notes are hard because usually the note messenger is through the student. The student may or may not pass it on. Notes get lost sometimes. If you need to do a note because you don't like email for some reason, I would actually recommend to give that to the teacher at the door. Just say, oh, here's a note. I would love for you to read it and get back to me when you can. Something like that. Or set up a meeting time. Say, I would love to talk to you about these grades. Do you have a time that we could meet? Please let me know. Something. Okay. Number 3. And this one's a huge one for me as a teacher. Locus of Control. Lotus of Control. The big thing that this means is, where does the blame lie? Basically, people tend to either have an external locus of control or an internal. An external locus of control means that you say, well, you're just not strong in that subject area, or the teacher grades really hard, or the curriculums are really difficult this year. And you basically set up for your child an excuse of why it's not their fault. Please don't do that. That's not good for your kids. Even if the teacher's hard, even if the curriculum's hard, even if it's not their strong area, those could all be true, but by you saying all those things, it takes the focus off of them and it puts it on something else, and they might start to do that throughout their lives and find an excuse. Well, that boss didn't like me. Well, I don't know. I couldn't get into the college I wanted because I didn't have enough extracurriculars on there. Just making excuses is not, it's not good. Better is an internal locus of control. And these people are happier, research shows. Internal locus of control is saying, how can I improve? Okay, can I work harder? Maybe next time we can practice that a little more. Maybe we can hire a tutor. Maybe we can spend some time working on this on the weekends. Find a way that you can take what happened and on that history test or that history grade. Let's say that they are keeping a C in history. Don't say, well, history's really hard. Say, you know what? History takes a lot of extra work, so let's spend more time on it. Instead of saying, oh, I always had trouble memorizing words too. Spelling's hard. Who does that help? Oh, it looks like we might want to practice those spelling words a little bit more. I bet if we spend a little bit more time, maybe we can bring that grade up. Okay. And last but not least, don't focus on your kid getting an A. I know that sounds crazy. And for some people, that might be so hard to understand. But focus on your child improving. And what I mean by that is if your child is flat out failing something, it happens and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for me. It's heartbreaking for them. It's heartbreaking for you. I get it. But if your child's literally failing a subject, the chances are they're not going to get an A in it by the end of the year. Even if they spend all this time and effort and extra work and extra tutoring, it might be something that your goal is not, let's get an A. Your goal should be, well, let's see if they can bring that from an F to a D. You did it. Great job. Am I praising a D? Yes, praise the D, because the D is higher than the F. Then once they're getting Ds, focus on trying to get that C. Okay, that was a good test. Look, you got less problems wrong than last time. Good. Okay, now let's try to see if we can get to a C. Because if your focus is on getting the A and they're so far below it, they're going to be super bummed that they're never able to meet that. A lot of kids will get discouraged. They'll stop trying completely, and that's heartbreaking. And that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help the teacher. Because what we want to see is the kids try. So focus on the improvement. If their first test, they miss 20 problems, a lot of problems. If they miss 18 the next time, which is still a lot of problems, that's 2 less than they missed the previous time. Praise the improvement. You've got to focus on those little baby steps up, because when you focus on too high of a goal for your particular child, they're not going to make it. If your child is a high kid, maybe they've got a B. You don't need to say, well, that's fine. It could be fine, but maybe they could be an A. Maybe they could be a B+. There's almost always room to improve. There are a few rare kids that get A+ across the board. They're rare. And honestly, personally, if I had a child that was consistently getting A+ in every subject, I would be trying to look for ways to challenge them at home. Can you go above the curriculum? Can you take what they're doing and go a little bit harder? Can you give them some more challenging reading materials at home? If a child is really getting A+ in every single subject, then that means that they are a good candidate for extracurricular stuff, extra things that'll help them improve, something that's interesting to them, maybe do some science projects at home, something to keep them interested in wanting to learn and not just feeling like school's super easy. But otherwise, there's always room for improvement. And if your goal is on seeing your child improve as opposed to seeing your child get a particular grade that you think should be their grade, it's going to be a lot better for everybody. So those are my main tips for things to do and do not do after you get your child's report card. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'd be happy to try to take my time and answer them based on my experience. And please subscribe. I would love to continue to make more videos. Let me know what else you'd like me to make a video of. Thanks.